Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Newscast. I am Lou Mongello, author of the Walt Disney World trivia books, the audio guides to Walt Disney World, host of WDWRadio.com, and publisher of Celebrations Magazine. This is the WDW Newscast for Wednesday, May 25th, 2011. I want to thank our sponsors for this newscast, our friends over at touringplans.com. They're the research team behind the unofficial guide. There you'll find crowd calendars, wait times, touring plans. And don't forget, you can also take touring plans with you into the parks with their Alliance application. Look, whether you are a first-time visitor or you are a Disneyland or Walt Disney World expert, it's all about maximizing your time. Lines and touringplans.com. Be sure and check it out. So let's get into the news tonight. There's actually a lot to cover. And with summertime approaching, and here in Florida, the kids are getting off school tomorrow, which for a lot of parents, that means that they're already starting to think about when the kids are going to go back to school in later on this summer. But what they really are probably thinking about is how and where to spend their summer vacation. And for a lot of those people who are thinking about what to do, especially locals here in Florida, there may or may not be reason to go back to Walt Disney World. You know, they may not be aware of what's new or what's coming, maybe what's old and coming back in Walt Disney World. So I want to talk a little bit about some things that aren't really breaking news this week, but some things that are maybe new and coming to Walt Disney World this summer. Maybe some things that people don't realize are back as yet. For kids, Jake and the Neverland Pirates, very popular Disney Channel, part of the Disney Junior programming, is now part of Disney Junior live on stage. It also includes friends from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Handy Mandy, and Little Einsteins. So there's a lots of new stuff for kids to do if they haven't been back in a while. There's other Disney Channel stars, maybe for a little bit of an older set. A lot of meet and greet experiences, this time with Phineas and Ferb. They're coming over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Guests and movie director Cletus Fillmore are going to recreate some of their favorite moments. They're going to sign autographs and take pictures, maybe give a couple of hugs with their fans. That's going to be located near the exit of Muppet Vision 3D, formerly where the Cars meet and greet was located. There's other meet and greets coming to Walt Disney World as well. Winnie the Pooh is going to replace Lotso at the feature animation building. Lotso you can still find over at the Pixar Pals Countdown to Fun Parade, although he's a bad guy, but he smells like strawberries. A Cars 2 meet and greet is going to open on June 5th, also near Muppet Vision 3D. And Lightning McQueen is going to replace, rest in peace, Herbie the Love Bug on stage at Lights Motors Action starting June 5th, 2011. Obviously, great tie-in there. Speaking of characters and meet and greets, many of you may not have seen yet Mickey Mouse's new home over at the Town Square Theater, formerly known as the Town Square Exposition Hall, formerly known as the Gulf Hospitality House, but I digress. His new location there, incredibly well-themed, very well done in there. There's also princess meet and greets in the back, which really are temporary until Fantasyland opens in 2012 and Snow White's Scary Adventures becomes the new sort of princess fantasy fair tent. Great place again to get photos, autographs with Mickey, and for Disney geeks and Disney fans, some incredible details in Mickey's in the queue and also in the meet and greet area. Last time I went, I took more pictures of the props and the details than I did with Mickey and Minnie. Sorry, buddy. Staying in the Magic Kingdom, there's also going to be a lot of, and there already are, updates to old favorites. And the first thing that comes to mind is the new interactive queue over in the Haunted Mansion. There's a completely new storyline that revolves around a lot of the interactive elements out there, inspired by some of the characters you previously saw in the Haunted Mansion, but really were kind of secondary to the original story. There's many layers to that onion, as I call it, because a lot of guests can walk through, play with a lot of the interactive elements there, but there's also a lot of interactive things. There's a murder mystery that takes place with the bus at the front. There's lots of other puzzles to solve. Inside the Haunted Mansion, obviously the hitchhiking ghosts are completely redone in that scene where they would normally just ride along with you. Now, I'm sure you know, they also have a lot of fun, interactive, playful ways to sit with you and whoever else is riding in your Doom buggy with you. Speaking of interactive cues and things for kids to do, Maybe some of your kids haven't had a chance to see or try out the new interactive queue over at the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Places to climb and jump and play. The tree has actually been moved over from the other side, and the 20,000 League stub is still located inside there. But there's also a lot of stuff to do and always new things for adults in Walt Disney World as well. This summer, the Sounds Like Summer concert series comes back to Epcot. It's all about tribute bands. Again, we look forward, but we go back. Talk about some of those sounds of summer from days gone by and my youth. So starting June 12th, we've got Hotel California, a salute to the Eagles. Starting June 19th through the 25th, Staying Alive, a tribute to the Bee Gees. June 26th through July 2nd, Slippery When Wet is the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute. Jersey fans unite. July 3rd to July 9th, A Little Queen is the Music of Heart. July 10th through the 16th is Frontiers, a tribute to Journey. July 17th through the 23rd is Karen Lawson, a tribute to Janet Jackson. Not the most creative name there. And July 24th through the 30th is To You, a tribute to U2. Showtimes are 5:45, 7, and 8:15 p.m. It is all included with your park admission to Epcot. Great way to spend an evening, again, not even having to worry about riding a single attraction. As I hinted to initially, what's old is new again, and this sort of holds true for everyone because this summer, an original Magic Kingdom favorite, the Enchanted Tiki Room, is scheduled to reopen in August in a version which is quote-unquote reminiscent of the original show, so we don't know if we're going to get the exact original opening day Enchanted Tiki Room Tropical Serenade show or something that's going to be a little more updated and paying tribute to that original show. Whatever it's going to be, it's not going to be under new management. I know that makes a lot of people in the chat room here and people that I've had a chance to chat with personally very happy. Weren't necessarily happy about the under new management update. Certainly is a little bit dated now, but we're looking forward to seeing what happens when it opens back up in August. Speaking of which, I'm the little orange nerd. This is the little orange bird who is a part of the Sunshine Pavilion. Here he is again. He was sponsored by the Florida citrus growers. Disney created this character just for the citrus growers and for Walt Disney World. There's your trivia tidbit of the day. Of course, speaking about things that are old and new again, we would be remiss if we did not mention the grand opening. I don't even like to call it a reopening of Star Tours The Adventures Continue. It reopened last week. It is a completely new experience. I think about it as sort of taking a house and stripping it down to the foundation as opposed to maybe just putting a fresh coat of paint on a new house. They basically took that box and created a completely new experience. Fun for everybody. 54 different possible ride experiences, characters, destinations, tons of great details in the queue, in the attraction itself. The re-rideability factor on this is through the roof, and if you are a Star Wars fan and or a Disney fan, there's something that you're going to like and love about this attraction. And if you miss the original Star Tours, don't worry. There's a lot of tributes to that original, both in the film, and pay very close attention with your eyes and your ears in the queue as well. I'm going to review Star Wars Weekends and Star Tours on next week's WDW radio show, episode number 224. Also just finished literally hours ago a long article all about the reopening of Star Tours for the next issue of Celebrations magazine. Outside the parks, date night is coming back, whether you're adults or kids. Not that kids should be dating, but you understand what I'm saying. Because over at the AMC theaters, they sort of have a new twist on that concept of dinner and a movie. 6 auditoriums are going to be transformed into the AMC Dine-In Theater. That just opened recently as well. And that gives you a chance to literally have dinner and a movie. I don't mean pizza on your couch with Netflix. I mean, you can watch first-run movies, some in 3D, while dining with it from a menu with quesadillas, burgers, flatbed pizzas, grilled sandwiches, house specialties. There's appetizers and desserts. There's reserved seating and tabletop dining offered there as well. I know a number of people who have had a chance to experience it. They love that idea and really sort of gives them another reason to go out to the movies, especially when they're in Walt Disney World. Great rainy day activity, by the way. So the question I have for you who are watching live in the chat room or anybody who may be watching on YouTube or on the WDW Radio blog, I want to keep this conversation going. Are some of these reasons and new things that are coming reasons to come back or come to Walt Disney World over the summer. If so, what are some of the things you're looking forward to most? I know a lot of people are saying they can't wait for the return of the Enchanted Tiki Room. A lot of people have been anticipating the reopening, or opening as I like to think, of Star Tours The Adventures Continue since it was announced back at the D23 Expo in 2009. Some people say they wouldn't go to AMC during vacation, but in the rain, because in the rain they still go to the parks. That's the way to go hardcore, my friend. Jay Swade is looking forward to some of the renovations and additions that may be coming to Pleasure Island. I am as well, although we don't have a timetable for that as well, that sort of opening of Hyperion Wharf. Magara76 says there's always a reason to go back. These are just little extra things to look forward to. Gina Marie says they're coming back this summer for the old favorites, but the new stuff is fun too. Trumpeteer, great point. We always go back, but appreciates the effort in keeping things fresh. Certainly, I think that's it as well. You know, Walt Disney said, look, I'm not building a museum. Things are always changing. Things are always getting updated. And it's nice to see new experiences and the refreshing of old attractions like the Haunted Mansion, but without dramatically changing the character of the attraction itself. Real quick, I want to talk about something else going on this summer beyond the parks. And this past week, many of us who are here in chat or probably watching online just came back and finished D23's Destination D, the Florida Project, and or the Scavenger Hunt in Walt Disney World. I did a recap roundtable on WDW Radio show number 223. You can check that out for our full recap of those events. But this summer, D23 is bringing back something that I just mentioned, the D23 Expo. That took place September 2009. Personally speaking, it was one of my all-around best Disney experiences, especially for something that was outside the parks in Anaheim, California. Just such a great job meeting other Disney fans. There was something there for everybody. There was the archives. There was Johnny Depp. There was Radio Disney. So whatever your interest was, there was something there for everyone. It's coming back this year again, middle of August. We're obviously going to be back there again as well. But they're adding something new, another element, another layer to that onion, as it were, this year. And when we talk about things like the Scavenger Hunt, it made me think of the fact that this year's Expo is going to begin on August 18th, and it's going to kick off with D23's Ultimate Disney Trivia Tournament, presented by Hasbro Trivial Pursuit Disney for All Edition. So it's basically going to be a large-scale trivia contest about all things Disney. Walt Disney, parks, resorts, films, you name it, they're going to cover it. And participants who play in the game are going to have a chance to show off not only their ultimate Disney geekiness and knowledge, but if they win, they get a cruise on all-new Disney Fantasy, including accommodations for 4, plus air travel. So big prize for this year's event. The semifinal and final rounds are going to be held on Stage 23 during the Expo on Friday, August 19th. And those are going to feature questions that come from the new Hasbro Disney Trivial Pursuit game, which releases this fall, and I've already put on my Christmas list, Santa, if you're listening. Registration, additional details can be found on the D23 Expo 2011 website and the D23 Ultimate Disney Trivia Tournament. You can visit d23expo.com. Just want to mention, too, I will be back this year at the D23 Expo. We're going to have a booth once again like we did last time in the Collectors Forum. I am again going to have full coverage of the Expo, including live video broadcasting like this and chat from each day of the Expo. We've already got lots of surprises and a few special things in store, not just for those who are attending the Expo and coming by the booth, but for you guys who are following along and watching and chatting in the box, as it were, for the 3 days of the Expo. For more information, kind of stay to follow along with what we're going to be doing and to see some videos highlighting the 2009 Expo, you can visit wdwradio.com/D23Expo. You can also keep up with me on Twitter at Lou Mongello and Facebook.com/WDWRadio for updates as we get closer. I'm also going to post a few new videos, too, from that I've never released before, with some exclusive content that we were able to gather just to kind of get you excited for what's coming this year. I know some people sort of had to balance between choosing Destination D in Walt Disney World and the Expo this summer in Anaheim. Two completely different experiences. If you have a chance to do both, I can tell you, like I said, the Expo was undoubtedly one of my favorite Disney experiences. Great time both at the Expo, out in Disneyland, and of course, getting to chat with everybody on the box. So I'd love to keep this conversation going. Let us know, first of all, if you're coming out to the Expo, please come by the booth. If you're thinking about it, maybe what's holding you back from going, or if you are going, what you're looking most forward to. And let me know about coming to Walt Disney World, some of those new things that are coming out this summer. What are you most excited about? And is there any one thing maybe that's really driving you to come out to the parks? Again, you can leave those in the comments section on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WDW Radio. You can also join us every Wednesday night live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern at WDWNewsCast.com to be part of the newscast and talk about it live in the interactive chat room. Again, I'll also post the audio portion of the newscast on the WDW Radio feed. You can search for WDW Radio in iTunes and subscribe there. Again, be sure and follow me on Twitter. Come by Facebook. Come by the website at WDWRadio.com. There we've got our daily blog posts, photo galleries, videos, fun, family-friendly discussion forums. Lots more going on there. And also don't forget, too, about the new WDW Trivia iPhone app just released last week. More than 750 questions all about Walt Disney World trivia, hundreds of Did You Knows, new features and questions being added all the time. You can find that in the iTunes store. Just search for WDW Trivia. You can also visit LouMongello.com to find out more about me, private tours, speaking, and lots more. That's going to do it. I want to thank everybody who was watching live in the chat room, everybody who's watching on YouTube or on the website. I am Lou Mongello from WDWRadio.com. Thanks for watching. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.